Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit.
Raise it up, y'all.
I am Mia.
And I'm Christy, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. Okay, so last week, just to recap for those of you who are, need a little catching up. Last week we talked about standing in your power. And again, I really believe, if not for anyone else, I think it was more for me. This was a conversation that I feel like was very timely and needed. I mean, think about you got the mental health of people. I'm sure many of us have suffered. And I actually had heard about this conversation recently, too. A lot of people, because of COVID, are now having this social anxiety coming out. But think about it. The state of our world today. And, again, just standing in your power. We want you to make sure that you understand it's understanding the power you have in yourself and learning to not only utilize it, learning to trust it, and learning to lean on it. And so for those of you who tuned in, I hope you found this episode very helpful because it was very helpful for me to even just talk about it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. All right, Mia, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so it is. So we today we're talking about what it truly means to love yourself. Now, we've talked about loving yourself before and, self-love. But, again, as we grow in our understanding and deepen in our understanding, we speak and we share where we are. So I think, Chrissy, it's fair to say we have a much deeper understanding of what it means to love yourself. And and we're not talking about self-care here. We're not talking about, go get your massages and, take your trips. We're talking about truly, authentically, and genuinely loving yourself. So that's what we're talking about today. You know what I'm saying? Jing-a-ling-a-lang-lang. What do you think about that, Christy?
Honestly, I have to agree with you. And we talked about this. I don't remember. Maybe it was the last time we recorded. But I really do feel like I am growing into a person who is really able to, I thought before I was loving myself, and that's another thing too. I realized people are I love myself.
No, it's levels. It's levels to this. No, seriously. That's why I said that's why I mentioned as our understanding deepens. We're sharing, you guys we're all journeying together. We're all on our paths together. And that's what we're here for. Yeah. So I would, that's why I said, I definitely say we have a different level of understanding of what that means. And I would tell you most certainly that before this level of understanding of what it means to love yourself, I most definitely believe that I love myself. And I did for where I was.
Right. And I think that's another thing too. We think, loving yourself means taking yourself out to dinner or getting your nails done.
Right.
No, it's deeper than that.
Ooh.
Loving yourself is understanding your worth and realizing that there are just certain things that you don't need to accept.
Okay, let's get into it. Power, so let's really talk about what it means to truly love yourself.
And this is subjective. So it's going to be different.
This is going to be good. So I think, Chrissy loves definitions, and I love having operational definitions and conversations. So when we say these words, we're all on the same page.
Yep.
So holding yourself in high regard, standing in your power, honoring yourself above all. Yeah. Now, when I say above all, y'all, I really truly mean that. Yes. So we're gonna get into that. And learning to be present, happy, joyful. You know what? And okay. How can I say this? Say it. Accepting of where you are in your life. There's something to that.
Okay, stay out of my business.
Right, there's something to that. I'm telling you, and it's you guys. It's something where I'm continually growing. My understanding is deepening. This is a real thing. How would you? Okay, so we talked about before we get into to the next topic, Chris. I want to know, because people say, like, how do you know you've reached another level of understanding of loving yourself? Do you know when you realized I'm in a different place now? Like, was there a particular moment that you can think of, or was it just?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, for those of you who have been listening to the podcast, because we've gotten several of you that are like, I've listened it from the very beginning all the way up to the present.
We love y'all.
Yes, thank you. So, for those of you who know my story, as far as like relationships, my first marriage was abusive. And I remember, thank you. I remember me standing up for myself. Like I felt like that was me, like loving myself. Like I'm standing up for myself, I'm advocating for myself, but this person still had control over me. And I still felt the anger and like everything else that came with it. But the interesting thing is now, when he tries the same old bullshit, okay, bye. Like I feel nothing. Like before, my heart would be pounding, my palms would be sweaty. Now I'm like, okay, have a good day. All right, I gotta go. Okay, bye. Like it's not even. I am not bothered by it.
I would tell you, I remember being at a point where I realized that I love somebody else more than I love myself.
Yes,
and I had
I've
you
been there
ask
too.
me
Yeah.
that, I would say, hell no. But when in hindsight, when you
think
like,
about it.
man, I believe the sun, moon, stars came out this man's ass. Like, and his words were, they weighed so much on me. You know what I mean?
My first husband.
Like it just weighs so. But so let's get into bringing it back to loving yourself.
Yeah, because he was the
that was my choice to make it like that.
Yeah.
You know, like when you truly love yourself. If I sit up here and I tell you, like if I say something about you that you know or don't believe to be true, who you are, it does not matter.
Right.
Your words cannot have more weight on who I believe I am than my own words. Are you out your mind?
And that's the
thing. But that's loving yourself.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because I remember he used to call me every name under the sun. And, you know, when you are in a relationship with a narcissist, because that's who he was, you actually start to believe it, because you get so manipulated, you get so, like, your mental health, your ability to even comprehend, it changes. But I started to believe what he was saying about me.
But see, so this is
but then once I realized how much I love myself,
exactly,
then I was like, no, I'm not.
It doesn't, like, because when I say there's, you can't tell me
nothing.
Right. You can't tell me nothing about me.
Basically, all the stuff, like how he treated me was how he felt about himself. Because I triggered something in him that made him feel uncomfortable.
Well, we're going to talk about loving yourself from relationships, because that's coming up. Hold that, because that's good. Ping. That is, yeah.
Put it, ping.
So, let's talk, because remember Christy mentioned that, you know, what it means to truly love yourself, that is subjective.
Yeah.
So let's talk about loving yourself according to your definition. So, for me, when I say according to Mia's definition, loving myself is trusting myself. Trusting that the seeds that I have sown bear fruit. Now, if I start doubting myself, that's when the panic starts coming in.
Yep.
Because I'm doubting my own works on myself.
Stay out of my business.
So for me, it's creating a space for myself where I feel free to be who and what I am at all times.
I'm happy.
That's
you said
how
that.
I honor.
Yeah.
So when for me, that's what that means. So
And I'm happy you said that because I think some people wouldn't see that as like, okay, well, how is that loving yourself?
Oh,
Like for me, loving myself
yeah.
is getting a new outfit, or for me, loving myself is getting
That's
myself
just-
a new pair, my nails done or a new bag. But again, this is subjective. Whatever fills you up, whatever, goodness, makes your heart just like jump.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think things like buying myself a new outfit or even booking myself a trip.
Right, or massage or spa.
I think
yeah.
that is a manifestation of something else.
Yep.
So loving myself means that I explore all of my curiosities.
Mm-hmm.
That I trust myself enough to
I like the trust piece.
to go to follow my passions.
Yeah.
So how that manifests is that I book trips for myself. I'm not waiting for anybody else to do and explore what I want to explore. That's a manifestation of I'm going to explore my curiosities.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
And again, it's subjective.
So it's not the trip itself.
Yeah.
The booking of it's what it satisfies in you. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to say satisfies. It's what ignites you. Mm-hmm. Is the part that you're feeding.
What fills you up?
What fills you up that shows that you love yourself.
Yeah. And I said this earlier, but I want to say it again because I feel like there are some people who say, I mean, of course I love myself. Self-love, yeah, I'm the chairman for self-love committee. Mm-hmm. But then when it comes to it, their actions are saying something else. Like I know I used to have friends who would be like, oh no, I'm a strong woman.
I like that clarification. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm a strong woman, I make my own decisions, but then would be lusting or like chasing after some guy who's married and doesn't want to be with her. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you say it, but your actions are not reflecting it. Mm-hmm. So I think, loving yourself according to your definition, not only is it that you are, you have these, like this definition of what love is for you, but also walking it out, living it, not just saying it. You have the face that I don't.
No, because this isn't my order. Like this ain't even from the same restaurant.
What?
Sorry, guys. We ordered some food.
But you know what? I can talk about the wine.
I was about to be like, yes, but you know what? This is all seafood, so you can have some of this.
Ah, see, she's always looking out for me. I appreciate it. Even though I was like, no, don't worry about buying me food. It's okay. We're getting food because we usually order food. But anyway, but yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, not only to, because of course, who's gonna say, "Oh, I don't love myself"? Yeah, I don't love myself. Well, no one's gonna say it.
Well, but
your actions show.
Right, and also when you are able to getting to the point where you realize how I'm treating myself is not of love, that's the beginning of starting to love yourself.
Yes.
When you can say,
"Hey,
I'm not doing something. Wait a minute."
Right.
That's the beginning of that.
Yeah. I mean, I even catch myself too, and honestly, you guys, you all know, we are by no means, we have not transcended, we have not ascended, we are works in progress. But I will say that as we are going through, we're learning a lot, and, we're sharing with you. So, but yeah, it's going to be, going back to the whole loving yourself according to your definition, it's going to be different for everyone.
I will say this too. I think by far and away one of the, and this is still something that I
got something to say.
that I am working through. But this is by far and away one of the things that as I've worked through, it's heightened and expanded my love for self, is when the people whose words and thoughts and expressions I hold in high regard no longer have a higher position and speaking over my life than my own words. Because sometimes you don't even know you're doing that.
Yep.
And so when I realized, like, wait a minute, and I mean, when I say, and there's no anger to it, it's not like, I don't give a fuck what you say, but it's really like, I know who I am. You're not going to tell me who, like, I
find is so, it's like, how are you going to tell someone
who they are?
Who they are?
What? The audacity.
Like, I think it was recently I just had this epiphany. Well, how are you?
How?
You know, and I was having this conversation with someone. I can't remember. I'm sure it was work related. But I remember I got into it with one of my, like, old managers because she was trying to tell me how to do my job. But the thing that I couldn't understand is, like, how can you tell me how to do my job if you've never done my job? Anyway,
but Christy, but that speaks to the projection of her insecurities or other people's insecurities, and so your I love this quote. Your opinion of me is more of a reflection of who you are,
exactly.
Because that's how you see the world.
And I didn't realize that until later.
That shit is so real.
Girl, oops. I mean, I said what I said. Oh well. He used to, like, you think you're that. You think you're that. No, I think.
Like, why would you even say that?
No, you must think I'm that.
Yeah. Or you have my presence makes you feel less than, and so because you don't know how to handle that, because you're dealing with your own shit,
right?
You gonna tell me too. You think you're what? I'm not in competition with you. You my fucking husband. You sound crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be these.
We're like, which actually brings me to something that I was gonna say. I had to write it down because you guys, thoughts will come in and out once you start drinking. Okay. So one of the things that I realized is once you fully understand how to love yourself, you're able to love other people more fully.
Oh, for fact.
I mean, of course, we talked about before, like, it all starts with you. But I realized, like, my capacity to love is so much deeper than what it was before, now that I'm in a space where I can love myself.
Mm-hmm. So, another thing is how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Say that again.
How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. So if I'm in relationship with you and I see how you hold yourself in high regard, if I am unable to provide that type of level of what we're expressing as love to you, then I'm going to back away. Because I know you're not about to deal with my half-ass, like, I'm just not there. Yeah. But so when it's almost loving yourself. You know how you say to somebody, like, you can't treat me like this. Don't be like this to me. When you love yourself, you don't have to say that stuff.
Right.
Like, you don't have to say a word. Yep. The energy that's coming off of you lets them know, like, I can't do this with that one.
And you are absolutely right. Because I will say that before I used to be somewhat of a doormat. Because I didn't fully love myself. Like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't acknowledge who I was. I didn't love myself. But then once I got to this point where I started to awake, be conscious and aware of what's going on in life. Thank you. I started to not accept the BS.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't deserve that. And I for real mean I don't deserve that.
Right. And not only that, right. And not only that, but okay, so when you don't love yourself, you settle. Cause you're like, this might be my only chance. This, I'm this or I'm that.
When you don't love yourself, you settle.
Absolutely.
That's deep.
Because you don't trust. Because you don't trust that what you want for yourself is coming. So when you don't love yourself, it gets back to trusting yourself.
Trust might be your self-love language.
It is. No.
I'm sure there's...
For sorting.
Right. Like, I'm sure there's a self-love language for everyone.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. It's subjective.
Oh, my goodness.
But trust is definitely one of my self-love languages.
Yeah. And so if I don't trust that...
That's deep.
The love that I want for myself is real or I'm not worthy of it, then you settle.
Ooh. I'm not selling no more.
I'm not.
No more. Because, look, if this relationship doesn't work, I'm going to be a nun.
And then let's talk about the
relationship. Maybe I'm going to be an old thought.
No, you won't. An old thought, girl. Baby.
Like, I'm going to be that old woman that's like, isn't she supposed to be in a home? Why is she twerking on the counter?
Like,
I don't understand.
Honey, that market is crowded. I tell you, I went out the other
I'm going to be a cougar. If this relationship doesn't work out, I'm going to be a cougar.
But no, seriously, I think, and on the other side, so we talk about, loving yourself, how that, yep, here we go. How that attracts, they both, I think, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, she got poke. Poke.
So, loving. So when you love yourself fully, that also affects how you're able to give love.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
we talk about accepting it, but it also talks about how you're able to give love.
Yeah.
Because you're able to feel, you're able to be more vulnerable. When you start to discover more of who you are in that yourself in a relationship, you're no longer able to present us a false self. See, like you can't be a fake Christy when you love yourself. Like I literally don't know how I can't even lie no more.
That makes sense.
Because for what?
I'm the same, and I'm just
for
why?
For what?
For why?
But that comes from a place, because oftentimes when we're not being honest with people, it's because we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of the response. So, but when you love yourself, it's like it doesn't matter what the response is, because I know who I am and I love myself.
Yeah, and I honestly don't even care what you think.
And I'm saying it's not coming from I don't give a fuck with him. It's I'm good. It's a non-factor.
Right. I don't care.
Here. So they sent us the whole wrong restaurant, but true. But that's a meat. Go get you a fork. See if you like it.
So
I sent a note. Go ahead. But
okay, go ahead.
No. So we moved on from that. So wait, let's get back to talking about how you really gotta love yourself to get anything done in this world. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it seems like everything is made to make you not love yourself or see yourself or believe yourself. Because when you love yourself, you're empowered.
I agree. So it's funny. So going through my awakening, and I can just say, I mean, healing, going back to self, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care about the terms.
Right.
But when I was kind of getting to this place where I'm becoming very conscious and aware of what's happening around me, the synchronicities, just the, intuition really on fire, I started realizing that, oh my gosh, honestly, when you get down to it all, people just want to be loved. That's all it is. Like, man. People are acting out. People are,
showing that. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. All right, yep, fine. You're going to make me say it.
People just want to be loved.
So, this past weekend, I went to a what do you call it? A birthday party with one of my friends. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was a guy's birthday. He was turning 52, 3, 4, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, so there were women, a lot of women there, beautiful. So I'm looking at these women like they're so beautiful and, they're so dope. But I'm also seeing how much they want to be seen and loved. And it's like, you grown and wise, and we're trying to look like we're in our 20s, in our 30s, and act like that. And it hit me. I'm like, I'm literally, like, I'm just looking at some beautiful women that don't know how dope they are. And they are over here wanting, and this is all we want. It's real simple. We just want to be loved and to be seen. But let me tell you something, and that's not a bad thing. But when you start to love and see yourself, when I say it goes away. Like, that is not even a thing. And here's the thing, and that's when you shine like shine. But the intention has to be, I just need to love myself. I want to love myself so everybody can see me shine. like for when I say just get into you.
Right.
It's different.
Because I remember I used to. I mean, I've never been into makeup, but I'll put some time into an outfit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But lately, I don't give a fuck. Makeup. I don't give. Honestly, it's all about comfort, and just doesn't even make sense.
See, okay, so for me,
But if I have to go out, I can't look.
No.
I can't look cute. I can't.
So for me, what I've started to do, but this is why. So look, this is the thing we talked about how it mean how loving yourself looks different for every person, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, you know, y'all have heard Chrissy talk about
cleaning her house every day.
I'm a girly girl when it comes to certain things. So
Mia is the girliest.
I like to get dressed, even if I'm not going. Like I had to get back to, you know what I mean, and putting on like you know, a little something. I'm not, you know, I don't know the last time I had like a full beat, but I'm gonna put on some. I'm putting on some mascara.
Yeah, you are.
And that's just. I like eyelashes, so I'm gonna put on some mascara. I'm not gonna put lashes on, but I'll put on some mascara every day, and it's just. I'm gonna put on my. I'm never not wearing my perfume. In the house, like it is so. But for me, I'm honoring the fact that that's just what the fuck I like, and I could not be leaving the house. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be
If I'm going out, I'll get dressed. But I will say, if I'm staying in, nah. I mean, I'm gonna shower and brush my teeth though.
You said, but for some people, loving themselves is not doing none of that. Yeah. Big T-shirt, no bra.
I go back and forth.
Here, check that.
Because you know, naked is for me. That's my love language.
Naked. But wait a minute, hold on. I had a moment where my daughter's making all the noise with the ice maker, y'all. Yes, I have an ice maker. Leave me alone. Thank you. I need that drink.
No one should not.
So have you had one of these moments? This is going to sound so simple and easy, but it was a moment for me. I swear I walked past him the other day. I was like, damn, you pretty as hell. To myself.
Oh, I've been saying that to myself.
Man, I was like,
for like the last couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, you cute.
I remember a time when I would think doing something like that, man, I was egotistical or I thought I was better. I was just like, this is coming from a straight like, damn, I see you, Mia. Hey, girl. Hey, I was like, oh my God, I love her. You're so fucking cute. And when I feel stuff like that, I'm like, I want every woman to be able to just see themselves. No matter, I don't care. Like, you know, if we really try, we could find any flaw. But when it's something different, you just like when you see yourself.
And even when you find a flaw, you're like,
it's not a flaw. Let me tell you something. It's because the only way it's a flaw is if you say so. Like I had to have an emergency surgery when I had my daughter. I had a C-section, so I have a C-section scar. Now, to be fair, my doctor happened to also be a surgeon, so I'm good. She did a good job. I'm not even gonna lie. However, it's still a scar. I have a choice of how I'm going to look at that. I can look at it like, oh my goodness, it's a mark on my body. I can look at that like, damn, I was in labor for 36 hours and I ended up having to have emergency surgery to bring in this beautiful child that's in this world. It's like a battle scar to me. It's like a battle wound. Like that's like a, like
this is how strong you are.
Yes.
Yep.
And you were back at work in 6 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though I wouldn't suggest anybody do that, but for me, it's my resolve.
Yeah.
So I have a choice. I can see it as a flaw, or I can see it as, look what I've healed.
Well, my son made my stomach lopsided, and I see it as lopsided. So I don't know if I've seen it as like a
You like, no, it's lopsided.
It's lopsided, but that's okay because that's what we do.
So let me just, for kicks and giggles, though we don't care, but for kicks and giggles, has your man ever said that you can have that one? It's a whole another one. Right? Has your man ever said, your stomach's lopsided? Has any man you have ever been in the bed with said?
No, never. Not even like the saggy boobs. For those moms, okay, for those of you who are moms who have breastfed, man, them titties. Them titties. Woo. They get a little long.
I can't stand.
I'm just saying.
But,
you know,
so getting back to how important it is to love yourself to get anything done in this world. Yo, look, because, okay, I'm sure you all have heard the saying that you grow in the failures, right? And so, but if you don't love yourself enough to give yourself grace through those failures, you'll stop and you won't move.
That's what a lot of people do.
So many, it's only because I failed, I messed up, but they don't take the lesson or what they're supposed to get from themselves and trust themselves like, okay, this may have been just a bump in the road, but I know what I've built for myself, and I'm not concerned. But you have to have a certain level of awareness and trust in self and love in self for you to be able to get past the failure.
Yeah. Okay, so I have something on the other side of the railroad on that, and I want to get your opinion on it. So I see your point on that. Mm-hmm. I feel like this woman is on the other side. So I don't know if you've seen that documentary, Theranos. It's this woman who created this company. She really, really looked up to Steve Jobs. But she created this company. It's combined therapy and diagnose. And her system was supposed to have been able to take just a little dot of blood to be able to give you this whole panel of what's going on with you.
I feel like I saw
flopped.
A cover, I saw I didn't see this documentary, but I remember was she blonde and then dyed her hair black so she could look?
She was blonde, but she made her voice very deep.
So yes, okay.
On purpose, because she realized, she was Stanford, but she kept going. There were all these flaws, all these lies. Mm-hmm. She got, these really wealthy, very high up white men, and, excuse me if that sounds offensive to anyone, but, I'm just talking about, to donate, what was it? $800 million. It was a good amount of money. Her job, her business was valued at $9 billion. They donated money. She even went to Walgreens and they opened up a place in Arizona that was one of the places that had her machines. The machines didn't work. No. But she kept she kept going on with this story. She knew better.
But she was lying.
She was lying.
There's a difference. So
she didn't love herself.
She didn't.
So she didn't love herself.
So listen, there's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
That's different to me, because you're supposed to get the lessons in the failures. So instead of saying, hold on, stop, no. I need to correct this, let me figure it out, she was so hung up and attached on that this is what I created for myself, but she wasn't committed to the journey. She wasn't committed to the process. She was going to make the process what she wanted it to be.
So what is that?
Narcissism?
It was so bad. Even one of her workers committed suicide. It was a researcher, this older science guy, and they interviewed her wife. It was just horrible. But I was just curious to get your take on that as far as ego. Actually, that's more ego.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's more ego.
Mm-hmm. Because when you love yourself, this hurts. This is. I put some, but I know that these seeds I have sown are not for naught. She could have made that work. She was a visionary.
She was. Okay, so then, what do you think stops you from loving yourself?
Ooh, child.
I can say for my ex-husband, he would say the same things about me all the time that I started to believe it.
I'm going to tell you one thing for me that was a couple of things. Look, we'll start with this. Judging myself. And I think that when you judge yourself, like, it ain't nothing like being petty Betty on yourself. Do you know how damaging that is? So you're guilting and shaming yourself. And when you're not strong enough to be the other voice inside, and especially if you're one of those people that say, I do love myself, but you talk to yourself like that.
Right.
So you have nothing pulling you back from stopping and talk to yourself like that, because you can convince yourself that you're loving yourself.
Okay, so how about you
definitely been there.
How about you get out of my business?
I've definitely been there. Wait, here's my thing. I would justify it. Like, no, I'm holding myself accountable. No, you are
tearing yourself down.
Tearing yourself down. Why would you do? I mean, I look back and I'm like, ooh. Actually, I remember my sister saying to me one day, she's like, why do you talk so bad about yourself? And I didn't even understand what she was talking about. I'm like, what? I don't talk bad about myself. I'm like, I'm just holding myself accountable. You know what I mean?
How old were you?
A whole grown up. Like, this was like, I was in my 30s, definitely.
Wow.
But I didn't even think to see it like that. And I'm just looking at her like, Pollyanna butt. Girl, go on someplace. Nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? So when you can justify your own self betrayal, that's dangerous.
Very dangerous. And I know I've been there too. Like, I've been in situations where I'm like, Chrissy, what did you do? You're dumb, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Bad move.
I mean, it's okay if we say bad move and keep it moving, but sorry, turn this. That's noises. Let me turn that off. But will we continue to beat up on ourselves? Hold on, can you, so I can type?
Yeah. And I think that's something that we all tend to do is, sorry, I got food in my mouth. This food is really good. We have a tendency to be very hard on ourselves. But, so I will say this. So Mia, her background was in track. So I'm sure that was a very competitive sport. You had to produce at a certain level. I used to dance. So, again, you have to produce at a certain level. It was competitive. And then I was looking at myself half naked every day.
I was about to say, and I think one of the things about dance that there's a different element that wasn't there with track is your appearance, how important that is.
Yeah. Because
I think track was more, even though, like, it definitely puts you in a place where you're judging yourself performance-wise, but a lot more of it, there was not a lot of how pretty you look when you're doing this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like in dance, there is like, I need you to be strong and also elegant and also beautiful and docile.
And also thin.
And you know what I mean? And
I remember I used to have, and I'm sure this did not help with my self-love. I'm actually pretty sure because I dealt with an eating disorder. I remember after the holidays, we would we were doing our bar. Arabesque, she would go around and start pinching everyone's back. And if she could pinch the back fat, like I remember she came to me, she said, oh, and she was from Brazil or something. But I remember she said, oh, I see you had a good time during during Thanksgiving. You had a good time. And then kind of looked like, and then walked to the next person.
But okay, you know what? Now, usually you have some coaches and teachers in your life who are mean, but when they like the way that we are taught, we tend to pass on. Yeah. She probably believes I'm pushing her to be her best.
She did.
And in her eyes, that's.
And I didn't see her as being evil.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk to me like this. Girl, if I said some things my coach said to me, I was like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to say.
Girl, I used to cry when I wouldn't get, like, corrections. I would actually cry. Because it meant that the teacher wasn't even looking at me. Like, I was invisible. Clearly, I wasn't doing enough to get any attention.
So think about that. I want the attention so bad that I want you to come over and tell me I'm doing something wrong. Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. But when we are raised in an environment, we're in the thick of it, we don't see that's how disempowering that is.
Yeah. It does a number on you mentally, but I still wouldn't change it for the world. Still wouldn't.
It's about comparing yourself.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So here's the type of comparison that I would like to share, because I'm afraid that I'm going to forget it. You always want to compare yourself to the person that you are presently to the person that you know yourself to be, instead of comparing yourself to someone else. You know, if there's going to be any competition, it's about the competition or about the comparison to who you know yourself to be, genuinely, spiritually, organically. Like, you know it in your soul. You know who you are. That's, you know,
that's how you see it. Yeah.
Right, compare it to that, not anything else.
See, actually, I didn't even think of it that way. I really didn't. Because I was thinking of it in terms of comparison. To me feels like I've judged myself against something. So that means that I'm not accepting who I am in the present.
Right.
So if say I'm trying to lose weight and I say, you know, man, in 20 pounds, whoo, I'm going, man, you know what I mean? Kill him. As opposed to, I'm finding a motherfucker right. Ooh, look at you, girl.
With all this thigh meat.
Man, what's that girl on, she's on IG and TikTok. Oh, man.
The African girl?
Yes. She has a low cut, like a fade, and she's always talking about her fupa. She's hilarious to me. A little loud, but I love.
Yeah, she's loud.
I love, you know how sometimes you're just going through like, whoa, okay, wait, turn down.
Yeah, that was something she posted recently.
But what I love is how her message is so empowering, Christy. I mean, she's just like, ladies, you know, if you like, what you just being who you are. Yes, we all. That doesn't. I feel like when we don't accept who we are currently, we're just setting ourselves like, so you're living day to day with like withholding love from yourself.
Yeah.
So I love the message because it's so empowering. It's just like, you fine right now, no matter like where you are right now. Stop, be still. You're good. Look around you. See what you have. Like, you were someplace that you weren't before. Look what you've been through. Look what you've grown through. Look what you've been shown. Look, and allow yourself to be in that space. It makes it so much easier to keep going in what it is that you want to be. Just because you love and accept yourself as you are does not mean you don't have the desire to be more.
Right.
That's not settling.
And it's okay to have the desire to want more.
Absolutely.
Think like, oh, well, especially if you're in the spiritual walk, I think a lot of people feel like you have to be without.
Yeah, you know,
you have to suffer. No, we don't. Pimping. Clear, cancel, delete.
Right.
We do not consent.
Absolutely not.
I think some people feel that way.
No, I don't. See, and that's so. And again, to me, the way I look at that, that's a disempowering message because we're putting a label on what it means to be quote unquote spiritual, as opposed to creating who we are and becoming who we are, and not trying to fit into a label. Yes. We're giving away our creation powers if we allow somebody to tell us what it means to be spiritual, which really means if we're allowing someone to tell us what it means to journey back to self, to know who you are, to discover yourself.
That's what all of this is all about.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Really. Understand that you are literally, we just keep forgetting this.
Yeah.
That we are literally
It is what it is.
A manifestation of the source. Unique and different. Yep. Coming here to experience this realm in our own unique way. That in and of itself is purpose.
Yeah.
So it just accepting that much. It's not supposed to look like somebody else. When we are trying to make ourselves look like, act like, and think and be like somebody else, that is one of the highest levels of self-betrayal.
Yeah.
Because then you're not honoring the uniqueness of who and what you are.
Yeah. And I really love using that word honor because I feel like it just gives you a different reverence, like a different feeling behind it. But this was something that is really deep. How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you.
Right, we were saying that earlier. Like, yeah, that's a thing.
It is a thing. Like, you tell people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And people observe, you know, even if they don't intentionally
even they don't know that's what they're doing.
Right, they observe. They'll see. They'll be like, oh, okay. She didn't keep her word to herself, so.
Man, hold on. Wait. I'm going to remind you of something you said. It was dope. In a situation with a certain person, you decided, I can't fuck with you. It's for other reasons, but really I can't fuck with you because you can't even choose yourself. You know who you said that to? Like, you can't even choose yourself. You can't even fight for your own happiness. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And it's because you were in a process of being able to choose you. It's like that energy does not match what I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, I know, of course we can learn and grow in relationship, right? But we can't make people choose to go on this journey.
We can't.
Because let me tell you something, it's not easy.
Which is why so many people don't want to.
Hell no. It's so much easier to just follow the crowd.
And be naive. Pretend that you don't know. But once you know, you can't pretend that you don't know.
Man, let me tell you, you can't even, that's how people lose their mind. Like, I want to go back to, ignorance is bliss. In many ways, I can't tell y'all how true it is.
I didn't realize how hungry I was. I'm sorry. I told her, I was like, no need to get food. I'm not hungry. I'm good.
Be in love. Let's get into, so not being in love. I just want to make sure they hear what we're saying. I'm excited about that too, though. But being, like, just being love. Like, everything that you are is love. So listen, let's take the judgment away. Everything is love. Like I said, I've said this before to you guys. Hate or jealousy is just a lower vibration of love. Like, when I say it, love just is. So if we look at it like that, think about the yin yang symbol. How you can't have light without the dark, and you can't have dark without the light. It's a continuum. It's a relationship. But one can't exist without the other, right?
That's
so if we accept that, then we should be able to accept the light and dark in ourselves, and not judge and say one is better than the other. It's all a sum of who we are.
Right. I've learned that.
And when we accept that, that's when we are love. Like, all of it is beautiful. All of it.
Even centipedes?
All them things too. Ew. All of it is beautiful. But
so I'm not there yet.
But I mean, all of the experiences that, like, when you know, your relationship with your first husband, that's beautiful too. You have 2 children from that.
Yeah.
But even outside of that, there's so much a piece of the person who you are. This is the thing that when we think back about our life, right? Let me finish that sentence first. The person who you are, if that relationship had not happened, you wouldn't be who you are.
That I know.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That I absolutely know.
So when we are going through our life and we're judging different aspects or situations in our life, And we think to ourselves, man, if I could, this is the only thing, if I could take this out. We don't understand how, because it's a continuum, if you remove something, you don't know what else is coming with that.
Right.
It's tethered, thank you. Mm-hmm. It's tethered to your life. You can't isolate one moment. You don't know what could have happened. And when you love who you are right at this moment, you can't even judge the bad and the bad, because you're like, oh my God, because I love who I am so goddamn much. And I know that if one thing didn't happen that happened to me in my life, I would not be this beautiful soul that I am today. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
That's like other level.
And honestly, that's so with my and this has come with just growing and maturing. But I remember, like, with my ex-husband. So what were we talking about again? It was right on the tip. I'm sorry.
You said it was there.
What was it?
You're talking about. Oh dang, Christy.
You hate me.
Yes. Why are you making me forget? I was fine.
How did I make? That was a choice. You are a sovereign being.
He was like, No. Don't release your power.
Right.
Dag, niggity nappity. Oh wait.
But I know it had something to do with my ex-husband. Yup. But no, I mean, honestly, like, once you get to a point where you fully embrace and love yourself, it really does show, like, how to treat you. Well, and then with relationships too, that's another level.
And I just talked about this in your solitude.
Oh yeah.
And learning to be with yourself. I shouldn't even say learning to be with yourself, but it's really learning to enjoy your own damn company.
Yeah.
That's life changing.
And even, like, being your authentic self. So I will say, like, in my previous relationship, in my first marriage, where my children came from, I could not be myself, because I remember he mentioned to me, I'm creating too much attention to myself, and I need to just be quiet, because I like to act a fool. I like to make people laugh. I like to I like to be silly. And he was like, you're doing too much. So I got to a point where I was just,
ooh, can we talk about people saying you're doing too much? Oh
yes.
My goodness, girl.
You think I'm doing too much. That's because you're not doing enough. How about that?
That is, when somebody who you love and care for says that to you, like, I don't even understand. I don't think people realize how, when they're saying it, how painful that is.
It's damaging.
Especially when you're just being who you are.
It's damaging. Like, I completely
shut
became
down.
Like another person.
You just totally shut down.
And I remember one of his boys was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, nothing.
I don't want to be doing too much. Ooh.
Yeah.
That one is something. And it was because you're uncomfortable.
Exactly. But, that's...
And then when you start acting a different way, you're walking on the eggshells, then why are you acting so funny? What?
Like a true narcissist.
Right, but bringing it back to being accountable for ourselves.
Right.
That's our fault.
It really is.
It really is. But it just takes a minute to see that. Mm-hmm. We're not victims. It's choices and decisions. But if you don't love yourself, the choices and decisions that you make,
you feel like you don't have any.
Bam.
And it's so funny because when I was in the situation, I mean, not literally funny, you guys, but it was when I was in the situation, I remember feeling like I didn't have a choice.
Absolutely. Right.
But to deal with it. But now that I'm older and I'm several years away from it, I look at it like, you do that to yourself. Like, you chose. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I've always had a very, before I got married, me communicating with Spirit was very clear. And I remember it was maybe 12 weeks before we were getting married, 12, I don't remember. but I was praying. And I asked, like, out loud, am I supposed to get married to him? And I heard, wait. It was audible, like, wait.
Well, you looked around like, who said that?
Wait. And it was very clear. It was very audible. And I was just like, you're tripping, God. You know, I love this person. And I know love can change people.
Ooh! Ooh, girl. I just got dizzy. Damn.
But
So
it was
that
like,
hit
it was
home.
so clear. Wait. And I didn't wait because I was thinking, okay, well, at this point, it's too late for me to back out. People are already sending their gifts. They're already talking about coming to the reception.
Oh, my God. This was my first marriage. Oh, shit.
You know?
Come on. Get out my life.
Right. It's...
Woo! Yeah.
And I knew that I wasn't, but I didn't listen because I didn't trust myself.
We did an episode about actually listening to spirit.
Yeah.
So just imagine you have a legion of angels. You have a spiritual collective behind you. And when they say, hey, just call on us when you need us, we got you, boo. And you get to that point, you say, all right, y'all need a little clarity, a little guidance on this. I'm a little too close to it. You know, as you commune with my highest self, is this part of my divine plan? And they'd be like,
Wait.
wait, just hold 1 second.
Wait.
And we say, yeah, I'm tripping. I ain't hear that. I'm going to go on about my business. And then later it comes up like,
how come you didn't tell me?
Right. And then we get mad at them like, you got me out here looking. No, we actually said it. And I think that scares a lot of people from continuing on their journey because, I mean, because they don't want to hear something they're not ready to hear something they don't want to hear.
Oh, absolutely.
I've literally had people, they're coming to get a reading. They're like, I've been needing to do this for a long time, but I know exactly what's going to come up and what I have to do. I haven't been ready, but I'm ready to even start hearing it.
Yeah.
Because you intuitively know. So when we go get these, when we reach for help, what we're looking for sometimes is just validation to keep doing the bullshit that you're doing to yourself. And when spirit doesn't give you that validation, because if it's true, it's not going to condone or encourage you to keep playing yourself. And we go, oh, I'm tripping. Like, I'm tripping. I didn't hear that. And we keep it moving.
Yes, you did.
But then 10, 12, 15 years later, you're like, you motherfucker.
It was probably
It was right there.
Right. It was probably the clearest I've ever heard. I mean, maybe. I'll just say it was one of the clearest times that I've heard Spirit talk to me or God talk to me. It was so clear. Wait. I'm like, okay, well, you tripping. I'm about to...
See?
I'm going to do this. You know, we're in love, and you condone love, and you support love, so just sign the petition. You know, I mean, that's kind of how I was feeling.
But
I wouldn't change it, though, because without going through that with him, and we talked about this earlier.
Yep.
I would not be the person that I am.
No.
I was about to say, that I'm is. That I'm is.
I bees who I bees.
Right. I wouldn't be who I am. And I appreciate that. And now I come from a different perspective. I mean, again, me and I are constantly evolving and growing, because there was a moment where I was going through and I looked at myself as a victim. And then I got to a point where I was just like, how are you a victim? Mm-hmm. This was a lesson you needed to learn. Learn it, move on. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic.
Keep it pimping.
Keep it pimping. Being love. We talked about being love.
Okay, so what's your takeaway, Christian?
You know, I said this earlier in the recording. Honoring yourself. And I think it's really important. I just love that word. I think it's really important for you to sit down and, what does honoring yourself mean? What does that look like? What does filling your cup mean? What does lighting that spark? Discover that.
I think for me, it's to just realize how important it is to love yourself in order to release and understand more of your I am presence. Man. Whew. Because the more that you love yourself, the more limitless you believe yourself to be.
Right. I love that. The more you love yourself, the more limitless you believe yourself to be.
Yeah. Like, I got this.
Right. That's awesome.
Like, I love myself. So
I'm not limitless yet. I'm just letting you guys know I'm not there yet. But, there's growth and evolution.
So today I actually had one of these moments where I was just like, sometimes it's hard for us to see our own accomplishments, our own growth.
Oh, all the time.
Until you have to do something like, if you have to do like a resume, update your resume, and you start thinking like, wait a minute, I've done some, I've been on one for real. Like, I forgot about this. So when you take the time, so I have one of those moments, I'm like, I need to take some time and be present. I was just reminding myself, like, okay, I feel like I'm not here for a minute, so let me just be here. And then I just started thinking to seriously. And I started looking around. I started thinking to myself, I said, bitch, what have you ever tripped on? Like, what have you ever not been able to do or have? Or, like, how dare you ever doubt that what you want, you can't, like, what?
Yeah, that's...
Like, what? Girl, I was like, I'm tripping. Thank you. And I needed that moment for myself. Mm-hmm. Like, whew, okay.
I forgot. My bad.
My bad. I'm tripping. Okay. All right. We good. All right, y'all. We good. So, I'm telling you, when you take just a moment to just look around you and think about, I don't care where you are, and just look at where you've come from, what you've grown through, like any trauma that you have experienced, and you still here. There's something to that. And then that gives you confidence to keep going, because I've been here. I've done this. I'm telling you, I was just like, like, girl, what you been through? You tripping up. Girl, bye. Yeah. You sound silly. You sound silly.
It's like I've just...
Yeah.
I went through hell and back, and I'm going to get upset over you?
Oh,
really?
Right?
Over
like, you absolutely not. My energy and this wisdom, I have earned this shit. It's mine. This wisdom, I've lived this. This understanding, I grew this. And you think I'm about to just and I'm going to sit here and just throw all that away? Oh, girl, you out your damn mind. That's how I check myself.
I feel like I just got to that point maybe a year or two ago.
Girl,
I just got there.
Yeah, like, what? You sound crazy. But sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you can't remember. So that's why the only thing is like, recall, bring yourself back to this present moment and look around and just go, just let me take a second. Damn, you didn't know how you was going to pull that off, but you did. Yes. Damn, remember this? Oh my God, you did this. Everybody said you couldn't, but you believed in yourself. You walked off the cliff not knowing what was going to happen, but you just trusted yourself, and look where you are. Girl, bye. When you get back to that point, you're like, oh my God, okay, I'm tripping.
My bad.
Guys.
I mean, and actually, you helped me too. And, I'll have to say, like, make sure that you surround yourself with people who will help to bring you back. Because I remember there were some issues. I wouldn't say issues, but there was, like, a family thing with my daughter. And I was starting to question my mothering or my parenting. And she was like, girl.
I had to bring you right on back. I'm like, you big tripping.
It's like, you forgot what you've accomplished. Like,
yes.
And as she was telling me, that's, okay.
You know what I mean? And like I'm telling you, one of the most powerful things that your friends, your tribe can do for you is remind you who the fuck you are. Yeah. If you don't have people who are pouring into you, when you like, when you down, I gotta get this out. If you don't have people who are have the desire to pour into you because they want to see the best for you, you need to relook at your friends. Now, here's something, this is very tangential, but here's something to think about. The friendships that we build when we are at our lowest, those trauma bonds. So sometimes we meet friends when we are, just low, not feeling ourselves, and then someone's like kind of comes in and they want to be the savior. But then when you start to grow and back into your confidence in being who you are, all of a sudden the relation falls apart because they had a desire to be a savior, and now that you no longer need a savior, they can't be around you.
I've had those.
And some of those relationships, you guys, are the hardest ones for us to let go of, because you're like, this motherfucker was here for me. But I've heard this paragraph, this quote before. Sometimes the people that you're with through your healing, they weren't meant to get the healed version of yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
But those are some of the hardest, because there's a sense of loyalty, like, oh my goodness.
They just helped you along your journey, that's all.
Right. Everybody plays a role, but we have to be, and this is back to loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you love yourself, you would never, ever even think about choosing somebody else's, a false sense of loyalty to somebody but yourself.
Yeah.
So.
And we've all been there. So,
ooh, girl.
Those of you who might be
look, I'm like, don't think I haven't been through the same predicament.
So don't feel bad if you're not there yet, because we've all been there. Mm-hmm. And again, life and spiritual life is very, sometimes it's up and down. Huh. So please don't feel any kind of way, because I've been there and I might be back.
You're telling. Hey,
I might be back.
As we grow, we show.
Yes, we do.
So what's the crystal of the week, Kristen?
All right, so the crystal of this week is scapolite. So scapolite is a wonderful crystal to work with if you need help setting your mind on a goal, or need help developing the self-discipline and willpower to attain and maintain inner freedom. And this crystal can activate dormant areas of the self in which awareness of your purpose, as well as the power to pursue it, resides. So the one thing that this crystal is really good with is it's a stone, or a crystal, whatever you guys want to use. It's a stone of destiny and dharma, and it helps you hear the inner voice, or the voice of the higher self, and carry out the blueprint of your evolutionary plan for this life. Okay, so here's the difference. We're going to talk about two different colors. So yellow scapolite in particular helps those with low self-esteem to find aspects of self to value and develop. And pink scapolite is great for evoking states of unconditional love, bliss, forgiveness, and heartfelt compassion. Pink scapolite can also help to identify the good in life, and teaches that love overcomes all, which is what we've been talking about. And it opens one to the experience of union with the divine heart, and encourages one to move from the habit of head consciousness to heart-centered consciousness. And this crystal also teaches... I like that. Yeah. It also teaches that emotional healing is not about revisiting past wounds, but releasing attachment to them as part of your identity. Mm-hmm. And I thought this crystal was really cool for that. Have you worked with this before?
What does it look like?
Me neither. It's kind of clear. It kind of looks like a watermelon tourmaline, but it's not that, doesn't have those different gradients of color. It's like this one was kind of orange. I haven't seen the pink one, but I have never worked with this crystal, but I think I might need to.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love that there's so many different species.
I love it. And all of them have different types of energy that we can use. I think it's so cool. Mother Nature has been showing out lately. Anyway.
Yeah, she has. Mm-hmm. I go for my walks. I love to watch the cyclical nature.
Oh, I love that.
The cycles, of nature. I mean, what did they call? Snow Black. That's what Christy calls me. One of my other friends calls me Snow Black too. Mm-hmm. So when I go through, I'm walking in nature. It doesn't matter what season it is. To me, it's all freaking beautiful. Because it's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's gonna complete its process. I don't care how cold we think it is, or how long it feels like it is. It's going to do what it's going to do, because it knows exactly what it is. Yep. So if we were to look at the cycles, these weather cycles, as an entity or a being, they know exactly who they are.
I don't think Chicago does though.
Yes, they do.
Because
We get all the.
One day it'll be 70, the next day it'll be
playing
like
double Dutch.
-5.
Girl, the Caesar just play double Dutch in Chicago. That's all. Winter had trips, so it was spring's turn for a little while. I'm trying to tell you.
Chicago doesn't love itself. It doesn't trust itself.
Right now, fall and summer are turning. They're the one who are turning the rope, and it's right now. It's just winter and spring doing double Dutch.
Not knowing. Why you digging your potatoes?
Right. Seriously. So you guys, yeah. So it just reminds me to, as we grow and change, like it's okay to find the beauty in wherever you are. Because it's there. It's not even find it. It's just accept it. Yeah. It's not like you got to go digging for it. Surrender to it.
I can't find beauty in centipedes, though. I just can't.
What is with you in these centipedes?
I've been having this conversation with this man today. He was asking me about the beauty of stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's a little creepy.
And what made you see how much she loves centipedes? Nobody brought it up but her. You see how it's top of mind? Mm-hmm.
Please don't say that, because I'm not trying to attract some centipedes, because if there's one in my car, I am dying tonight. Tonight is the day. Tonight is the day.
That's it? I'm done. It's been fun, y'all. Thank you so much.
If there is a centipede in my car, I am
No, I'm just saying, but, there a lot of people consider them good luck. Christy, I'm serious. Look it up. I don't remember what.
I'm not a screamer, and I'm not like a girly girl, but if you want me to scream and be a girly girl, just have me deal with a centipede.
Where do you even see centipedes?
There was one in my unit like 2 weeks ago.
Look, I'm like,
oh my gosh, I screamed like a bitch. Like, I screamed like a little... like a child that hasn't even, like, that's going through puberty.
Wait, please help me. Where was Brantley when you were doing all this screaming?
He was at the groomers, but I called Jason upstairs because I was like, please get the, and he's never heard me scream, and so he freaked. He started laughing because he hadn't seen me like that. But I was like, yeah,
you're like, You said,
Yeah, I don't do.
I'm not doing this one.
Everything has a purpose, and I just feel like, what's the purpose of centipedes?
Oh my. You and these centipedes.
What's the purpose?
Oh, you a hater.
What's the purpose?
Ooh, I need to figure out what happened in your past life with centipedes.
Maybe
they got you. I'm about to say a bunch of them must have got you in the desert someplace.
Oh my gosh, stop. I'm starting to I can feel it. Stop. Ooh. Okay, before we go though, I want to say.
Oh yes.
Thank you. This wine is amazing.
Berryessa Gap.
Berryessa Gap. So we got a bottle of wine, so we will accept donated wine.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Of high quality, that is.
This is delicious, you guys.
It's really good. So one of our listeners, Kim, thank you so much. She said that she wanted to share one of her favorite places in Winters, California. And she sent 2 bottles. The first bottle that we opened up, actually, because I'm done after this. But the bottle that we opened up is the Durif. It's 100% Petite Syrah. That's why I like it. I like a good Syrah.
It's delicious.
But yeah, it's really good. Like
it's a woman-owned vineyard, I believe, right?
Yes, woman-owned. She's very passionate about her craft, and she said give them a shout out. So
you guys know this wine is delicious. Berryessa.
Oh my goodness, it's very good.
Gap. So I must spell berry. Essa. It's BERRYESSA.
One word.
Gap.
Yep.
Berryessa Gap.
Yep. And this
Durif is.
It's really good, you guys.
Delicious.
And it's not dry. Like, I feel like it's pretty. It's pretty even.
Oh.
I don't know what the term is because I try to pretend like I'm a wine connoisseur, but I'm not. But they're in Winters, California. You can go to Orders.
It's very clean. It's just dry enough. It's not. If you like sweet, you won't like this wine. But it's a very clean wine that. It's drinkable, and I think it will pair well with food as well. But
yeah, and it's not very dry.
It's not super dry, but
it's sweetness to it.
Man,
it's really good.
My tongue is tingling. I really like this
I just
wine.
felt the tongue tingle. The tongue tingle right there. You can go to orders at berryessagap.com if you were interested in ordering the wine. This is really good. It's a 2018 Durif. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Durif. And it's 100% Petite Syrah. This is really, really delicious.
I'm about to say, if she is inspired by French, then it's Durif.
We love it.
Oh, it is, since it is creation by French botanist.
I love it.
Francois Durif in the 1880s.
Nice.
Durif. I like
really
this.
Good.
Yeah.
So we are done.
Oh, yes.
Close out our episode, you guys.
How long were we?
That's an hour and 15 minutes.
What? Oh, my goodness.
We can always find things to think about, especially when there's wine and good food. Mia ordered some poke. The name of the
restaurant is Poke.
And it is okay. No, it's really, really good. Like, I'm about to eat it all, like, for real. But thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Next week, FYI, we're taking a week off. Both of our kids are on spring break, so we'll be moving around. Christy's boo's having a B-day, so she'll be moving around,
Oh my gosh, if you guys see any stories of me looking high or busted,
don't judge me.
Yeah, don't judge me. No judgment. I'm just loving myself and enjoying my authentic
I mean, seriously, cheers to that. So it's spring break, so, we'll be doing a little bit of fun and maybe a little traveling. So
some sun and some beach.
Ooh,
you got a pool in your future.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to have to work a couple of days, but not 4 days.
Yeah.
Do some, take care of some stuff. But it's going to be in 80 plus degrees.
I'm so envious. Oof.
I need this.
I need some sun.
I
You're like, no.
I need this. So we'll take a little break. But in the meantime, you guys, hit us up on our IG page if you want to let us know a topic that you want us to cover. Mm-hmm. We love when we get some suggestions from you guys. Maybe we'll do a couple of polls on our break to get all in y'all business. But follow us on IG at 2 Queens Crystal Things.
Yeah, and follow us on our personal Instagram pages. Wings Unleashed 444.
Hi,
you guys. Look, I was telling her earlier. I was like, I need a reading. You guys contact me. She is the queen of readers. She's the best reader I've had. Anyway, and she's a great person for Akashic record reading. So follow her, look her up.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah, book your dragonfly appointment. Get it.
We're trying to get out here and heal these energies,
yes, we
y'all.
are. Shoot.
And then follow my girl at Christy R. Edwards on IG. Get all of that stuck.
Who knows what you're gonna get?
Nuck if you buck. Get it out.
Ooh, I like that.
And also follow Sage House. Oh, here we go. Jesus, help me. Come on.
Oh, yeah, say it. Go ahead.
Come on.
Say it? You can do it.
Sage House Apothecary.
Yes!
Yes, she did it!
She said
it. Follow her page, y'all. Her business. It got some dope jewelry pieces, a little magic for you guys. I got some stuff coming out too. We're trying to spread some of this magic
yes, we are.
out to the ladies. So we're excited, you guys. But that's it. We'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep. In 2 weeks. Guys.
So thank you. We love you all. And light,
peace,
love and soul. All right, we out.
Bye, you guys.